Welcome back to Language Mantras. This is Advanced English, session number 27B. Once again, let's talk adverbial clauses. An adverb is like a very good footballer. It enjoys enough space in the ground and it can negotiate with almost all players except nouns and pronouns. Mostly, it modifies verbs and adjectives. And a special feature of an adverb is that it can modify, it can qualify an adverb also. When you speak of an adverbial phrase, it may be 2 words or 3 words because of, as soon as, etc. Today we are talking about adverbial clause. So how to recognize an adverbial clause? The easiest way is to find an answer to such questions as when, where, why, how, etc. In session 17 and 19 of Advanced English, we have discussed conditional clauses. Conditional clause is not difficult to understand. It poses a kind of condition, a balancing situation. If you do it, I'll do that. Something like that. And you must remember some words and phrases that introduce a conditional clause. These words and phrases are if, unless, until, in case, whether, provided that, etc. These words and phrases introduce a conditional adverbial clause, maybe in the beginning, maybe in the middle, and maybe at the end of the sentence. Let's take an example. Unless you have a steady income, don't take any risk. You should not take any risk if you do not have stable income. So there is a condition. Unless you have a steady income, don't take any risk. You see, unless you have a steady income, this part is actually adverbial clause. This part is a subordinate clause. And don't take any risk, this part is principal clause. Something is missing here, that is, you don't take any risk. So, unless you have a steady income, you don't take any risk. This is the full sentence. So there is a balancing condition, and you see, unless you have steady income, this part actually refers to don't take, and don't take is a verb part. Therefore, this clause modifies verb, and this is an adverbial clause. Come to the second example. If you were not here, if you were not here, the monkeys could injure me. We have done enough of if clauses. Those if clauses are very much adverbial clauses. But here again we have another example. If you were not here, this becomes a condition. If you were not here, something could happen. The monkey could injure me. But nothing happened like that. So condition was that you were there, that's why something unwanted could not take place. This is an adverbial clause. Now come to purpose clause. So what is a purpose clause? Purpose clause clarifies purpose of an action. And this clause is introduced by these words and phrases. What are these words and phrases? These are that, so that, in order that, in order to, etc. You introduce an adverbial clause of purpose with these words and phrases. I opened the window. This is the principal clause. So that some fresh air could come in. So that some fresh air could come in, subordinate clause. And my purpose of opening the window is clear here. Why did I open the window? Answer is there. So this is an adverbial clause of purpose. Another example. A man pushed me away from behind in order to save me from an accident. Somebody pushed me from behind with a particular purpose. Maybe I didn't notice some accident was going to take place because of my presence, but somebody pushed me away from behind. So you see how purpose is very much clear. That means why question is answered here by the subordinate clause. Therefore, this is an adverbial clause. Now we come to reason clause. Although it is very much like purpose clause, it is treated sometimes differently. Anyway, let's see because, since, as, for, because of, that, etc. These are the introducing words. They introduce a reason clause. Examples. Number 1. Ria cannot sing. Ria cannot sing. Principal clause. Principal clause comes first. Because she has a sore throat. Something wrong with her voice. Therefore she cannot sing. So Ria cannot sing. Why? Because she has a sore throat. Example number 2. I am glad that you feel quite confident now. I am glad. Principal clause. Why am I glad? Because you feel quite confident now. But I don't say because, I say that. That becomes equivalent to because. So you see how these examples actually clarify something. Adverbial clause is always a subordinate clause, and it always gives some additional information to highlight the principal clause. This is all about subordinate clauses. They do not exist by themselves, but for highlighting the principal clause, they exist. So I think this will help you understand adverbial clause. Many people think that adverbial clause is very difficult. Well, to some extent it is more difficult than adjective clause or noun clause. But once you get the basic nature of the clause, then it is not that difficult. I think I should stop here today, but only one request is there. You see the full video, watch the full video and see the text also. And please subscribe our channel. Please share the link with your friends. And if you have any question, please let us know. Be sure you will get an answer. So thank you very much. Have a nice time.